Hello everyone, my name is Aarti and you're watching HW News. It has been almost a week since the Pegasus Project report came out. The expose by Paris-based Forbidden Stories and Amnesty International in collaboration with 16 media outlets in different parts of the world has revealed a list of persons who were potentially targets of the spyware Pegasus. The leaked list included 50,000 phone numbers, 300 of them were Indians. These numbers were later corroborated, and what came out of this was nothing less than shocking. These numbers belong to several journalists working on crucial stories, bureaucrats, diplomats, activists, lawyers, social workers, and businessmen. Even 2 sitting ministers' phone numbers were also found to be on the list. Now, the Israeli company which made this spyware, NSO, has denied the charge of its involvement in such kind of alleged snooping on civilians. It has maintained that its spyware technology helps combat terrorism and millions of people are safe thanks to the spyware. But it also says that its clients are vetted governments. In that case, the governments across the world have been questioned by the masses as to who ordered the snooping in the first place. There is no doubt that the Pegasus Project has shaken the world politics, business circles, and even the reporting world. But the question is, what are the governments across the world really doing about it? And a question specific to India, what is Indian government doing about it? Well, this is something we are going to look at today. We are going to look at what has been the response of different countries to the Pegasus controversy, what has been the response of Israel, and what has been the response of Modi government. But before that, if you are watching this video on YouTube, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button, you like this video and you comment below it. And if you're watching this video on Facebook, please do like our page and share this video to as many people as possible. Now, as we delve into the topic, let me say my colleague Tejas Joshi has conducted a thorough research and presented it in the article. You can check out the article on www.hwnews.in. I'm also adding the link below so you can read the whole article or bookmark it for future reference. Alright, so we will start with France. French government has specifically been active as far as its response to Pegasus snooping accusation is concerned. It could be because French President Emmanuel Macron is also on the potential target list, and it could also be because the French government takes the breach of privacy issue seriously. So what did France do? According to French media reports, French President Emmanuel Macron spoke to Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett. This was to ensure that the Israeli government is properly investigating the allegations that the French president could have been targeted with the Israeli-made spyware by Morocco's security services. Over a phone call, Macron expressed concern that his phone and those of most of his cabinet could have been infected with Pegasus. The Macron-Bennett phone call reportedly took place on Thursday, but it was first reported by Israel's Channel 12 News on Saturday evening after the end of Shabbat. Now, according to Channel 12, an unnamed source said that Bennett had stressed that the alleged events occurred before he took office in the month of May and that a commission was examining whether rules on Israel's export of cyber weapons such as Pegasus should be tightened. Before the phone call, Macron also called an urgent national security meeting on Thursday to discuss the Pegasus spyware and its targeting of civilians. He also ordered an overhaul of security protocols. The French president also changed his own phone number. Now, this was about Macron, but apart from that, French prosecutors in Paris have also opened a probe into allegations that Moroccan intelligence services used the Israeli spyware to spy on several French journalists. The investigation will examine 10 different charges, including whether there was a breach of personal privacy, fraudulent access to personal electronic devices, and criminal association. Investigative website Mediapart, and you will remember this name because of the Rafale investigation, they have also filed a legal complaint on Monday. Another investigative newspaper is also set to follow the suit. Although Morocco has denied spying on French journalists and the French president. Moreover, it has also sent a defamation notice to Forbidden Stories, who first accessed those 50,000 leaked numbers. Now let's talk about Israel's response. Israel, which is home to Pegasus owner NSO, has been defending the allegations, although the furore since last week has been rising. On Thursday, it established a committee to review the allegations of misuse of the NSO group's surveillance software and hinted at a possible review of the whole matter of giving licenses. The Israeli Defense Minister Benny Gantz was forced to defend the granting export licenses for the software. He claimed that countries that purchase these systems must meet the term of use, which are solely for criminal and terrorism investigations. Some reports also say that the Israeli government is setting up a multi-agency task force to deal with the fallout and investigate whether policy changes are needed regarding sensitive cyber export. Ben Barak, who earlier served as a deputy head of Israel's Mossad spy agency, acknowledged that Pegasus had helped expose many terror cells, but if it was misused or sold to irresponsible bodies, this is something the country needs to check. Now let us talk about Mexico. In Mexico, the First Lady called on the Attorney General's office to investigate the revelations made by Pegasus Project, breaking ranks with her own husband, who said he would not make a criminal complaint into the number of politicians and innocent civilians whose mobile numbers appeared in the leaked list. At least 50 people around the president, including Andrés López Obrador, known as AMLO, including the First Lady herself, 3 sons, 3 brothers, aides, advisors, and even his cardiologist were among those of potential interest to the clients of NSO, according to the Pegasus Project investigation. Mexico was NSO's first client, and 3 security agencies are known to have operated Pegasus over the past decade. AMLO said that the federal government no longer spied on political opponents, journalists, or activists, and that any existing Pegasus contracts would be cancelled. In a statement, the Attorney General's office said that the NSO contracts signed by the fugitive Thomas Zeron, who was director of the Criminal Investigation Agency, were subject to an ongoing criminal investigation. Zeron fled to Israel last year to escape charges of embezzlement, torture, and forced disappearance. Now let us talk about what was the response of the United Kingdom. More than 400 UK phone numbers appeared in the leaked list. Questions were asked in the British Parliament. According to Guardian, the principal government responsible for selecting the UK numbers between 2017 and 2019 appears to have been the United Arab Emirates, which is traditionally a British ally. This especially has the potential to be politically embarrassing for both the sides. Meanwhile, a UK government minister, Lord True, had told the Lords that they have raised their concerns several times with the government of Israel about NSO's operations. Human rights lawyers said they were examining the reports carefully and were seeking to prepare civil action to force further disclosures from NSO group. Now let us talk about what did the US said. The US has said it is against the use of spying technology on civil society, regime critics, and journalists through extrajudicial means. Acting Assistant Secretary for South and Central Asian Affairs, Dean Thompson, told reporters during a news conference that the whole notion of using this type of technology against civil society or regime critics or journalists or anybody like that through extrajudicial means is always concerning. Moreover, US Secretary of State Antony Blinken has said he will raise human rights and civil liberties issues in talks with his Indian counterpart next week, including India's alleged use of spyware. Of course, the NSO has rejected these claims. Now let us talk about what was India's response to Pegasus spyware list. As far as Prime Minister of India is concerned, there is a deafening silence on his part about the Pegasus issue. Apart from the Prime Minister, several ministers of his cabinet, including the IT minister, who himself was on the list, and leaders of the BJP frantically issued statements rejecting the reports. A day after the first set of Pegasus Project stories broke, newly appointed IT minister Ashwini Vaishnaw rose in Lok Sabha to offer explanation. In an impassioned attempt to refute the allegations, Vaishnaw stressed that mere presence of numbers on this alleged list did not mean they were snooped upon. Former IT Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad said that there is no unlawful surveillance being carried out in India, and why is only India being targeted if 40 other countries are already doing it? Home Minister Amit Shah had a little complex take on this. He said that this report was by the disruptors for the obstructors and to show India in a bad light. JP Nadda, BJP chief, says opposition has no issues So they continue to raise this without any basis. Now compare what other countries are doing and what India is doing about the Pegasus controversy. French president called national security meeting, changed some security protocols. He changed his handset and called up the Israeli Prime Minister. Israel itself is looking at setting up a review committee. Mexico is looking at investigating the allegations and possibly they will also terminate any current contracts. Britain is constantly taking up the matter with Israel. US has officially called the issue concerning, at least it has issued a statement. And what has India done? Call the report baseless, call it a conspiracy against the government, as the report came out a day before the beginning of the monsoon session. It also called it a conspiracy to malign India and explain disrupted and obstructed chronology, but no concrete action on this. The question is, why the Modi government is not calling for a free and fair investigation. Mind you, the government has not said that it has not spied on the citizens, but let us assume for a moment that they haven't done it. But since 10 of the phone numbers were found to be compromised and they belong to Indians, somebody must have ordered it. If not the Modi government, then who? Shouldn't it be investigated and shouldn't it be the subject of the investigation? As a citizen whose tax money goes into the functioning of the government, we ask you, should Modi government be conducting investigations into the Pegasus Snooping allegations or not? Do let us know what you think about this in the comment box below. For more news and updates, you can log on to www.hwnews.in. Before I end this video, for the last few months, we have been asking you to support us through our YouTube membership program. And it is heartening to see so many people coming out and showing support. It motivates us to continue the journalism that speaks truth to power. But many of you also wrote to us saying that they were unable to support us through YouTube. A lot of you also wrote to us asking whether there is an option of one-time payment. So we have come up with another option on our website through which you can support us. You can choose if you want to support us through monthly one-time payment or yearly one-time payment on the website. This subscription plan also comes with certain benefits. Do check it out. Go to our website, click on the support on the topmost toolbar and check out the plan that you want to take up. Your support means a lot to us. So do subscribe. Until then, stay tuned to HW News.